Thank you for tuning into my channel, Plant Crazy. Today I'm going to talk to you about a species orchid named Dendrobium Victoria reginae, its care, a little bit of history, and its culture. I did a little bit of interesting research and found that this plant was discovered by a man named August Loher, a German citizen who lived in the Philippines at the time. And he discovered it in 1897, and here is a sample submitted by him to the Kew Gardens Herbarium in 1907. He has done many plant expeditions, and this was one of his last ones. When he collected this sample in 1897, the island of Philippines was a Spanish colony, but when he submitted this sample shown here to the Kew Gardens Herbarium in 1907, it was an American colony. Loher named this orchid after Queen Victoria, who was the British monarch at the time. He named it Dendrobium Victoria reginae, and it is one of the so-called blue dendrobiums. It comes from the Philippines, which is located in Southeast Asia, close to the equator. These islands have mountains, and the temperature can be quite cool at times, and they are always moist, and these are described as cloud forest orchids, and so they can do cool to intermediate growth, and these forests are always wet, and this plant grows hanging down from moss-covered tree branches. Here's a photo of Dendrobium Victoria reginae growing hanging down from a tree. Its canes are kind of slender, but strong enough to withstand the wind. And the one I grow is a very tiny plant, and I grow it in mostly sphagnum moss, 70% and 25% bark, to mimic the natural conditions, and mine grows in bright shade. On the internet it says this plant likes shade and cool conditions, but I've grown mine in very, very bright shade. Sometimes a bit of dappled sunlight falls on it. One day I left it by the windowsill for a whole week, not just a day, and next thing I know, there were buds on it. Then I realized, oh, this plant actually likes lots of sunlight. Not direct, but kind of dappled sunlight. It started blooming in early January. It's still blooming right now. So if you are lucky enough to have one of these, make sure you give it plenty of sunlight. And I'm very keen on this orchid, because it's got this lovely blue color. Next thing I'm going to do is maybe see if I get a different colored flower if I put it in a bit of shade. The 1800s and the late 1800s, when this plant was first discovered, must have been a fun time to live in, to discover so many unknown orchids. I enjoy growing beautiful species orchids such as this one, because I feel if they're endangered in the wild, I have access to one. That makes me feel great, because I'm preserving genetic diversity. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.